Peace and love to everybody out there. Peace and love. My name is MoodyBugz. This is Vibes with Moody. We will be trading NASDAQ today. Once again, if you're trading NASDAQ with me, you could be trading SPY, QQQ, TQQQ, SPX, or even QQQM, right? One thing I want to let anyone that's trading options with me know is once I'm in the trade, if you see me scaling out and you see that your percentage isn't moving too quickly because it's options, you can just wait for the move to happen on that chart, then go ahead and start to scale out or take full profits. Today, I'll talk to you on the charts on what I see. However, give me some time to be able to share my screen. I'm about to share it here in a second. All right, there we go. So as of late, I'm gonna just bring this up to a higher time frame. I got it on a 5, and we're gonna be talking on the right side right here, right? I'll say we'll take it about to an hour. So here on the hour, we've seen that we have gap down, right? Not only that we gap down, we're creating an inverse head and shoulders. We got a shoulder here. We can look at the shoulder right here. Let me go ahead and draw that out for you guys. Take off this magnet really quickly. We can look at the shoulder coming from right there or even from right here. And this would be your head that is forming, right? So anything could happen, right, to try to go ahead and give us the other shoulder and take us up. However, that does not have to happen. That's just one analysis, right? Now, I'm leaning more towards the downside right now. And I do want to buy calls as well. However, it's what the price action is showing us. We're having a pole right here, which is a bear flag to this pole, right? We can see it coming down like this. We can also see it going up, and we can also see, and I'll just use the 50% retracement to explain myself. Let me turn my magnet back on. And since you just heard me say, let me turn my magnet back on, the reason I keep my magnet on right here, all the way to the right, is because it'll magnetize to the top of the wick or the bottom of the wick or the bodies of the candlesticks, and that's all I'm looking for. So as you see that the fib is on there from the top to the bottom, we have a red line right here, and that's the 50% retracement of that fib. And we can see that it didn't close above it, and it keeps rejecting it, right? So that's why I'm going to be more inclined to take puts. However, as you see my chart right here, we have an entry for calls right here at $25,334, $347.75, as well as we have a put entry here at $25, 800, I said 800, $25, $283.75. We're actually heading towards it right now. We can also use this one here for an entry point. I clicked the blue line. Give me 1 second. We can also use this one here at $25,271 flat for an entry point. I do have a golden pocket here, which is still support and resistance, but it's a stronger support and resistance than the blue levels, which are support and resistance as well. The red lines are going to be points of access where you can exit your excuse me, exit your trade or even scale out of your trade, right? So I'm gonna keep this bad boy here on a 15er. And I may drop her down to a 5, right? Just checking her out. And now I'm going to look at the 5 and see how the price action looks. Basically the same, right? And I can still see my whole entire market structure. And when I'm saying market structure, swing low to a swing high, to a swing low, to a swing high, to a swing low, to a swing high, higher, right? And I'm just seeing that market structure. However, I'm still more inclined for puts. Yep, that's about it. And all we got to do now is just stay patient till the market opens up, right? So as we do that, let me just go ahead and open up another browser. A matter of fact, I don't even have to do all that. Just go over here to the VIX. I already checked out the VIX. I don't want to say it's pretty volatile. The VIX is what it is the volatility of SPY. Yeah, let's come over here to SPY. And we may just go to QQQ. Right, and this is what I had charted up last time when I was on here on Wednesday. So I'm gonna just go ahead and delete it really quickly. For SPY, we got a nice little entry point right here. See, it's kind of like the same thing as NASDAQ, where I'll do a call entry here at $692 flat if it holds above, right? Just to go ahead and start targeting this liquidity at $692 and $80. Yep. 92 and 80 cents, right? And then we got this one above at $93 and then $693. One thing about me, I always like to say the last two four numbers because it just makes it quicker and easier for me. However, I don't want you to get the wrong price action. So $693.71 is right here, right out of daily opening. Which is a catalyst and a bias for a lot of traders where it's like, hey, if we're under the daily, we're mostly bearish. If we're over the daily, we're mostly bullish, right? So you can go for this liquidity here. Just don't be too greedy. If I was in, I'll take most of my position right here and hold a runner or so, right? However, for now, that put entry right here, I would target them, right? And also know that I have a support and resistance right here with the nice tweezers. However, also with the weekly opening price, so I know that it can bounce from there. So don't be too greedy to try to take him or him out. You know, you can start to scale out your trade and things of that nature. And just to know where you can scale out your trade, I'll bring it down to a smaller time frame. This one right here, you can scale out. However, it's right there with your entry point. Unless you're buying a whole bunch of contracts, you're not gonna want to. So what I'll do is just grab this fib, put it on here, and we'll want to enter. And you already see you're entering the fib to enter your entry point, right? I'll bring it down to another smaller time frame. I'm on a 6 now, right? And I got me something right here. Oops, wrong tool. Right here, horizontal ray line. I could go ahead and start trimming away some profits right there, right? And even there. And understand that if I break this 50% retracement and keep holding down, I can keep holding her down, right? So that's how I see SPY. Just for a quick day trade, a quick scalp, is already kind of heading towards that entry point. And you can also just know that if it breaks that entry point, let me just take it to a small time frame and see what I got. See this white line? You can also use this one for an entry point as well. And even if it breaks, you can also take a retest and take it right back down as well. So that's what that'll look like. Let me take it over here to QQQ. QQQ, same thing. We got a nice little bear flag. Some people look at it as a bear pendant, right? Let me draw that out for you guys just so that you're able to see it, right? Just starting all the way from the top here, coming down, and then we got a pendant, right? So it looks to break out to the downside or break out to the upside, right?
You are watching
So same thing here.
work.
Ooh. So with that being said, I would kind of utilize those like this. QQQ is actually giving you a better entry point than SPY, right? Right under the market structure, right under its support, next to the monthly opening price. So I would enter in right there and I would look to target these people. But however, me, I'm the type of trader where it's like once I get into my trade, right, I'm in my position size where if it's options, I'll be in with $7,000. If I'm a little bit, I don't like to use these words, but let's say, you know, indecisive and nervous, yeah, I feel like this is the move that's happening. I'm gonna always scale out. That's just me. As long as you take profits, you'll always be able to trade the next day. That's how I look at it, right? And then you have a few more targets down here. We already cleaned this gap, right? So just be aware of that. And then you also have some targets here, targets here. Be careful of this resistance that we have here. I'm drawing it up right now for you guys. This blue line there. And you do have this resistance that's here. I mean support right here, and it's basically what I spoke about on that tweezer, right? So I'll just leave it like this because we're day trading and scalping, so you don't need all these extra levels. That's what you have to like start understanding, right? Bring it down about here. I'll bring it down to about a 15er just so I could get you another target right here, right? And I wanted it a little bit down here, so I'll just drop it down to like about a 4, see if I could get something around here. See, there we go, got you something. There we go, there we go. See, and I got you another one right here. There you go. I'll bring it up really quickly. 17. And now you can take your screenshot and place these price actions that you see right here onto your chart. It doesn't have to look as perfect as mine's or pretty, right? You can literally just take it and drop it on your chart, literally, and then follow along. So for the people that want to watch their chart, you put it on your chart and you literally just listen to me and follow along. For the people that can't follow along, not I wouldn't say follow along, can't put it on their chart. and maybe they're driving, maybe they're working, whatever the case may be, what you'll do is just remember those entry points so that you can enter at those entry points. So just listen to me. And once I say that I'm in the trade, you can go ahead and get in a trade, right? One thing that you can always do now is if I'm in the trade and let's say you was just indecisive, whatever the case may be, don't lie to yourself. Oh, the button's not working. No, you was just a little slow. It's okay. One thing that you could do, if you see that I'm still in the trade, right? Let's say I was going for calls and it's going down and it's pulling back on me, and I'm like, hey, I'm looking to add to this position. I'm gonna let you know when I'm gonna add to the position. You can enter in there. What you got to think about is, oh my God, he's down. He just added. He's waiting to get in profits, yet it just bounced where he added. I'm up in profits. When he's at break even, I can scale out because he's gonna let us know, okay, we're approaching break even. I can start to scale out. You see, I win now. And that's how you got to look at the analysis sometimes, right? And that's when, you miss the trade or you just got to keep listening, right? Because remember, we enter in at our entry points. We could use that entry point aggressively, conservatively, as a break and retest. There's so many different ways to be able to skin a cat, right? If you guys have any questions, feel free to go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'll take a look at it here as they come in. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the Zoom really quickly and just say peace and love to everybody in the community. Peace, D. I see the heart. How you doing? Peace, Candace. How you doing? Peace, peace. Cuzzo, how you living out there? Frank, I see that you got back from Dominican Republic with the family now. Let's get it. All righty. Well, we have about 4 minutes till the market opens up. I kind of lied right there. We have 3 minutes. It is 9:27 now. All right. So good day. Good day. How you doing, Latonson? Yeah, it's active. It's just not moving at the moment. Sometimes that happens, right? We like to see QQQ or SPY start moving around 4 a.m. However, sometimes that happens, right? And sometimes it'll just start moving at 9:15 or it'll just start moving at 9:30. Yeah. And now I'm thinking, I'm like, is today a holiday? Oh, today's Martin Luther King's Day. Yeah, no. Now I'm thinking, are they gonna open up the market? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, yep. Because futures always stays a little bit active for a few hours and things of that nature. And that's when you guys are gonna see how honest I am, where it's like, I don't want to say what I normally say, yet I don't really know when there's a holiday or certain things unless I physically go look at like not my calendar because it's not gonna tell me. However, like, the world's calendar. And that's why you see that I celebrated Martin Luther King on his birthday. Do, 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 do. Well, that's amazing. So, I'm just a great person, meaning I charted up SPY, QQQ, However, we're gonna get us a few scalps here on NASDAQ. Market's gonna open up here in about 2 minutes. YouTube, what I would tell you is load up your futures. Come over to futures. You know what I'm saying? If you're on Robinhood, you can trade futures as well. Right. And now that I know it's a holiday, I'm gonna be patient because the volume is not gonna be as what I'm looking for. However, I'm more inclined to take puts just due to this bear flag that I'm seeing here on NASDAQ. Doop, 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 right? It already triggered the entry point, which our entry points right here and right here. Um, However, it's just the type of trader that I am. I utilize my entry points. However, I'm always utilizing the price action. So the price action is always going to let me know where it's like, hey, this is what we're wanting to do now. And I follow price action. All right, we got about what? 15 seconds. Wow, today's going to be a short day in the market. Those be like my days off. All right, we just opened up. I'm going to be looking for puts unless she tells me to take some calls. I want to see her go over my golden pocket and stay over my golden pocket for the calls. That white line is our entry points for puts. If we cross it, I will be taking puts, my love. I will be taking puts if we cross it. Staying patient. All right, I'm in. I'm in puts. It's bouncing at the moment. Let's go ahead and stay patient. I've even added to the position just now if you want to. It's just moving really slow. We just bounced real hard. I'm still holding. I want to make sure that we do not go over that orange line. That'd be my cut. I want to show you on the chart. Yeah, I'm staying focused on my phone so that I'm able to scale out correctly. There it is. I didn't take no scale on there. I'm about to take a scale now. There we go. You could go ahead and take you a scale now. And if you want, you can take another one. I'm going to take one more. I'm going to hold to see if we can take it down to about the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour opening price. All right. What I don't want, still, orange line, stop. I don't want it to go and hold above here. Yet I'm going to watch it from right here. See, it's heading there. That's our resistance. All right, we're right here at break even, so don't be scared. We're back in profits. I'm gonna add to my position. Just add it. I didn't take a scale when it just, now I'm gonna take it right here. Nice drop. Great drop. Great scale. Great scale. There we go. Beautiful. I want to grab one more scale. I can take about 3. There it is. Let's go ahead and grab it now. There we go, baby. See if we can still go ahead and tap that 4-hour opening price. Now, if it gets to back to my break even, I may just go ahead and cut the position. It's not there yet, but however, I do want it to stay under the blue line. If it stay under the blue line, I'm gonna keep holding. There it is. There it is. I'm gonna scale and hold only 3 contracts. There we go. As you see, just 3 contracts left. I don't know if you can see it on my screen. Just 3 contracts left. Trying to put it right there. You see why I'm doing this so slow? Why? Because I know that this is moving slow. So I know it's not just gonna give me a bounce where it's like, see, now it just gave it to me. Got 3 contracts still. I'm gonna see if I can just go ahead and break under that 4-hour opening price and take it down to the next red line, liquidity right here. There it is. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. Come to daddy. We're one of the most patient traders in this world. This is what we do. There you go. Go ahead and grab a scale, even though we didn't tap it just yet. It was just pretty close. And I always love to run with some money. Let's just keep holding this trade really quickly. I only have 2 contracts left. Boom. There it is. You go ahead and take one. You don't have to do what I'm about to do. I'm adding to the position. However, I did scale out. Beautiful. 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 All right. As you see, I'm about to scale out again. There's only 5 contracts left. All right. I'm going to scale it off that bounce. Now, if I could hold under this break right here, I'm going to keep holding, or even this break right here, I'm going to keep holding. Just going to watch how it tries to bounce. See if we get another bear flag to the downside. All right. We got one rejection. Let's see if it's going to hold it. We got the opportunity to just go ahead and take out this PMG to the downside. Let's see how we go ahead and do it. Just got to reject that blue line or red line really hard. Let's stay patient. We're here on a 5-minute. We got about 11 seconds left, so I'm probably gonna almost be done with this trade. But I really wanted to break this down, and just take it all the way down here. Let's see what we can do though. But be very, very, very cautious. Be very cautious to just close your trade. We just came out with a new 5-minute candlestick. I'm scaling it. And that's just me protecting my capital, right? Got a new candlestick coming out. Haven't chose direction, just chose direction. There it is. Let me scale her out one more time right here. And again, you don't have to do what I'm about to do. Seeing if it bounces so I can get this add real quickly. All right, I'm adding. I'm not going to hold too crazy. Got about 7 cons right now. As you see, things only up like $2,000. All right, I'm going to scale it a little bit here. I'm going to scale it again here. Do. She's playing so slow, guys. See if we take her down to the 50% retracement really quickly. And all I'm doing right now is capitalizing on the trade. I'm just capitalizing on the trade. I know that it's not moving that fast and it's moving in my direction, how I'm heading. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to scale. I'm going to scale. I'm going to scale. I just want to be able to hold. Let me see. I'm scaling. I got 3 cons right now. Only 3. Only 3. Let me see if we'll be able to take out this liquidity. We got a nice bear flag right here. Hopefully it doesn't Morningstar from a bigger time frame, such as maybe a 1-minute time frame. Let me go look at her. Make sure. That's the tweezers. Let's see how strong this Morningstar was. All right, she got 10 seconds. Let me see if she'll reject it really quickly. Let's see if she rejects it really quickly. If she doesn't, we'll just close the trade. So I don't want to be in a reversal. Make sure she breaks the 50% retracement. Let me go ahead and chart it so that you see what I'm seeing right there. You can see it from this smaller time frame here. Just looking to break her. Got a nice inverse head and shoulder, shoulder, head. I see the shoulder populating already. Don't want it to hold over that support and resistance. All right, over the blue line, I'm closing. I'm good. Great trade. Great trade. Feel like she's still going to go to the downside. However, just protecting the capital. I've been in trade all the way since like up here. So I'm just like, hey, that's great. I still see some more downside movement. Yeah, it's always important to go ahead and take your capital, right? And why do I say that? Because anything can happen in this market. And then you was just like, gosh, man, I was just holding trade too long. Man, I'm being greedy. Now you're going through all these words and all these emotions and feelings, which can, if you don't internalize it correctly, it can really hurt your trading, right? So real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this down to like a 5 second so that you are able to see what I was seeing. And for anybody that still is trading futures, if it holds under this 50% retracement, you could go ahead and grab your puts. If I was you, you'll grab a light position right now, and if it pops up, you'll add to that position. You look to target this guy right here to break this white line to take it all the way back down to the 50% retracement. That will be your move, and that's what I see that's going to happen. However, as whatever can happen now that I'm not giving an analysis, right? Just looking at this 5 second time frame, and I'm only talking from this 5 second time frame because that's the time frame that I entered in at, right? This right here is a 30-second time frame. I'm gonna put this bad boy here on a 5, right? And that's exactly what we're looking at when the market opened up right here. So I said that I was more inclined to take puts just because I'm seeing a bear flag. That was the bear flag that I saw. I'm gonna just go ahead and draw it and not be so pretty, right? Just starting from right here, you see this yellow line. I'll just make that like a pole, right? And then we had a flag, right? We had a flag. That was our support and resistance, and now you see my entry points, how perfect they were, right? I don't always have to like draw things out, and it's just because I spent so much time on the charts drawing things out, right? So that's why my entry point for calls were all the way up here, because if it held above that market structure, I would take the calls, right? I was more inclined to take the puts. So now we're going to come down here to a smaller time frame from looking at this larger time frame, right? So as we came down, right, my entry point was right here, right? As we see this, you can look at the time down here, 932 Bronx Park South, address 4B and 4A. That's just where I'm from. However, 931, right here, the market opens up at 930. We've seen that it had a nice push, started to come down, and I said, hey, everybody, my white line is where we will be entering. It crossed it. We entered the trade. We even scaled out the trade. We even started to add to the trade, scale out the trade even more. It hit the next entry point, right? So now you're understanding why he felt so much more inclined to add to these positions. Why did I have about 15 contracts? Why did I scale all the way down to about 3 contracts? Then I even had about 5 contracts at one point. Then I even had about 7 contracts at one point and just kept scaling it out, right? Boom, you can see from what I drew right here, we break that channel, right? So that's another reason why I'm adding and I'm scaling out that trade, right? So with that being said, we'll come back here in the analysis that I gave before explaining why I entered the trade, because that is very important for you to know why is someone entering a trade and why is someone scaling out a trade. Why is that important? It's not just important for your profits, it's important for your psychology. It's important. Why? So that you don't be afraid, so that you don't be nervous. You're not scared of going into the bathroom because you know what holes behind that door, you know? However, you're not scared. This is a better analogy. You're not scared of getting in a car and driving, right? And you know the possibilities. You know that you could get in an accident. You know that this can happen and this can happen. And we can keep talking about so much negative things that can happen. Yet, what do you do when you get in that car? You stay focused on a positive thought and you stay focused on getting from point A to point B. I don't care how old or young you are. You never think of crashing. You never think, oh my God, I'm going to get in an accident. Why? Because your subconscious and your nervous system knows. You keep thinking about that, a man is what he thinketh. You will end up getting in an accident. So now you understand why people are getting in accidents. Yes, they're rushing, they're doing this. There's a lot of things, a lot of variables connecting it, yet it's also just your mindset. It's your mindset. It's the way you're thinking and approaching things, right? Someone in this world can say, hey, I don't see this. And a lot of other people in the world can say, hey, well, I see this. The person that says that they don't see it, maybe they're aware of it, yet they don't want to see it. They don't want to manifest that, right? So with that being said, I came and I gave another analysis and I said, hey, look, guys, if I was you guys, I will take the trade if it holds under the 50% retracement. Or you could go ahead and start your position now. And if it pops up, just go ahead and add to your position. And I was saying, target one of these right here. Because I remember the price action was like right here and bouncing up. Target one of these. You see, boom, it gave you that target. I said you will want to break this structure. It broke the structure, right? It's gonna do it again. All this right here is literally what we just traded. This right here. Doop, 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 doop. And you know I'm not lying to you because you see, like when I do this, all you gotta do is look to the right. It's gonna stay right here. My cursor, it's right there because that's the price action that we're playing right now. That's just one big bear flag. See, breaking. It's gonna keep going down. It's gonna hit that 50% retracement and may bounce from there or get even weaker and then go under. However, that's just the same move right there. Literally the same move. And I'm being overly explanative so that you understand it. Now that I showed you that move and we traded it, boom, broke the flag. It did it again. I'm gonna do it one more time because watch. It just took some time and it did it again right here. You just got to be able to understand it. This one just went quicker. Why? See? Pole, flag, breakout. Same thing. Same thing, my love. Well, breakout. Same thing. You just got to be able to see it. And when you have a great educator that doesn't mind to show you exactly what he has in his mind for you to be profitable, you end up getting the same profitability, right? So I'm gonna stay on a little bit longer with the Zoom class. I said Zoom class with the private community on Zoom. However, I didn't know that today was a holiday. Forgive me, King. However, I made sure to celebrate you on your birthday. Very appreciative of everything that you've done here on planet Earth to just ensure that um we have a better life and that we understand that we're free and to dream the dream because the dream is free. However, like Mark Monroe says, the hustle is sold separately. Yet, I explained myself very well. If you guys have any questions, feel free to come into the community, drop your questions or drop your questions in my DMs. And the reason I'm just saying that right now is because I know that I'm getting off. However, I really appreciate your time. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Until the next time, peace out. Oh, just want to state, I told you I wouldn't miss.